Okay, the last one that we're going to do in bar charts is histogram. Histogram is different from bar chart in the sense bar chart is for a dimension and then you plot a measure on top of it, right. So, it could be measure could be like product category, like what we did here. So, we have product category and within product category you have order priorities. So, these two are dimensions and within the combination of dimension then you plot a measure. In this case it was number of records, and in other cases like here it was sales. So, within each combination what is the total sales for that combination, right. Whereas histogram you plot a measure, because a measure is plotted on the x axis and you divide it up into ranges. Like sales, say 0 to 100,000, 100,000 to 200,000, 200,000 to 300,000, like that. And then see how many transactions fall into each of those ranges. Okay. Now, the range is continuous, right. It is not like a product category which are kind of distinct. Okay. 0 to 100,000 is adjacent to 100,001 to 200,000. So, the in a histogram the bars will be touching each other. So, it is adjacent and the x axis is a continuous variable or measure. Okay. So, what we have to do is suppose we want sales, right, profit. Okay. So, we want to do profit distribution histogram, right. So, there are a couple of ways in which this can be done. Okay, I am going to show you the quick way first, right. So, you take profit, okay, and then if you go to show me and select histogram. So, what this is going to do is Tableau will now take profit and create a binned profit dimension and then plot that binned profit dimension and count how many in each bin. So, click that. So, we have a profit bin has been created and that profit bin is the x axis and then the height is the number of records in each of those bars. Okay. All right. Okay. But you can also do this, and it is pretty straightforward as well. So, I am going to delete that. So, what we can do is we can go to profit, right. Okay. Click the down arrow, and if you go to create, you see there is bins. So, we can manually create the bins ourselves. Okay. So, when we create bins ourselves, then we have more control over the bin size and everything. Okay. Which is when you do a show me and create histogram, and when it generates the bins automatically, you can still go in there and then edit it if you like. So, it is not really you do not have to do it this way, or it does not give you any more flexibility than first creating using show me and then going and editing. So, both are pretty easy to do anyway. So, if you click bins, then it starts you off with a suggested bin size. So, suppose you say, okay, I want the bin size to be 500. So, now you see when I click OK, the profit bin dimension will be created. The one that I deleted will now get created again. See, now I have profit bin. Now bring in profit bin to column and number of records. Then you see. Okay. So here, instead of sum, we change to count. Okay. Or if you want exactly the same way, like to show me, then you need to bring in profit in here, right? And then change the sum to count. Okay, again, that also gives you a histogram. But this histogram needs a lot of work because it looks like there's very few observations below minus 2000 and then very few above 3000. So we should, if we probably will get a better picture if we can get rid of all this or maybe combine them all into one group right there. Okay. So how can we do that? Well, we have to create a new field, and it's pretty easy, so it's not that difficult. Let's call it trunc profit for truncated profit. Right. Now we're going to say, okay, if profit less than minus 2000, okay, then 2000 minus 2000, sorry. So all values less than minus 2000 will get converted into minus 2000. Okay. Or if you want to just get rid of them, you could say null, but why get rid of them? We will just count them as minus 2000. Okay. All right. Now you have to do the other side, which is 3000, right? So now what do? We can do else if. We need another condition now. Okay. Else if, or again profit, right, greater than 3000, okay, then what? Again we will bring everything, all values greater than 3000 will all put them as 3000. Okay. Then why do we have an error still? We are done, right? So what do we need at the end? End. Yeah. So we have to say end. All right. So now the calculation is valid. Okay. So I have to add here else if that condition then 3000, right? Now what if the second condition is not true as well? Okay. The first condition is all the profits less than 2000, less than minus 2000 or minus 2000. Okay. Everything that's greater than 3000 is 3000. Okay. What about the ones in between? The profits that do not satisfy the first condition or the second condition. So right now without anything, so it's going to be null. So all the valid profits now that we want to keep is null. So we have to say else, right? It's just profit. Okay. So now all the three possibilities are now accounted for. So that was the reason for the error, the crazy looking histogram that we saw. So truncated profit. Now if you go, all right, so now we have a decent looking histogram. Now this is what happens when you convert everything into one single value. So these two ends you have a little spike. That's because all the ones that are greater than 3000 are combined as 3000, so you suddenly get a spike. So I don't know, maybe you want to get rid of 3000 above 3000 and make them null. That's probably not a bad idea. Okay, so it's just a matter of preference.